This is Brian 2. It's December 15th, 1:04 in the morning. Sleep deprivation. I only had 3 hours of sleep last night. I'm surrounded by Panamanian special ops soldiers, former special ops soldiers, current special ops soldiers. They got me surrounded, boxed in. Just met one of them tonight. And I'm just boxed in by them. And also, I cannot fly into Nicaragua. I can't fly in. It's been that way for weeks. Either the routes are, trying to route me through Miami. They were trying to route me through Madrid, Spain. So when I was trying to book a ticket from Ecuador to Nicaragua, they just blocked it. Wouldn't allow it. So I had to book a ticket into Panama to get out of Ecuador because of the torture and the terror. Well, it hasn't stopped here either. But the point is, the same thing. It's been going on for weeks. I've been trying to book a ticket in Nicaragua for weeks. Here's what's happening. This is from my experience of just traveling. I've learned this. They need me to take a bus. They need me to take a land route from Panama into Nicaragua so they can alter jurisdiction. Because if I fly in from outside countries, third countries, then that country is not bordered by Nicaragua. Therefore, there are different laws and rules as they continue to perpetuate this bogus 24-year investigation. This is not an investigation. I am surrounded by Panamanian special ops. These are special operations soldiers. These are not police. Them too. Listen. This has been going on for 24 years. This is not an investigation. Targeted individuals. The type of investigation we're under is not a judicial investigation. So they got me surrounded in this hotel. Here's my hotel room. There's my suitcase. I was trying to get out. I just blew another $120 on a PCR test trying to get out of Nicaragua because the torture is so severe. Every time I lay down, come to a point of rest, they start targeting my heart. It's just like this. Still beating, but it's vibrating. And that's been going on for years upon years. They're targeting me with radiation. They're targeting my cerebral cortex, manipulating my internal organs, causing damage. They're doing this training, research, and development. They're just torturing and murdering people. But I'm surrounded by special ops soldiers. These are not ordinary soldiers. I can't fly into Nicaragua. I can't do it. I can't get a ticket into Nicaragua. They're simply not going to allow the Nicaraguans to be able to hold over them their bogus investigation of me. Because, see, I've been through this in Nicaragua before. I've been to Nicaragua 3 times. I was in Nicaragua in 2014, again in 2015, and 2016. I mean, I've been to Nicaragua more than I've been to any other country in the world. And, their torture and terror started in 2011. The directed energy torture, but they had me under investigation long before. They used this technology on me back in 1997, and I do believe that it was going on back in 1996 in Nicaragua. When I was in Nicaragua in 1996, 1996, it was going on in Nicaragua. They used this technology on me in 1997. Voice of God weapons, directed energy, stalking, etc. That was 1997. But I believe this was going on in 1996 in Nicaragua. So the point is this. I'm sitting here in Panama. Next country over is Costa Rica. Next country over, that is Nicaragua. If I take a bus, that's a land route. It's no longer an international route. You see? It's a local route from Costa Rica into Nicaragua. So they alter jurisdiction. They've been targeting, just disrupting my flight plans all over the world for 10 years. 10 years. I mean, going on in every country, and just totally blocking, forcing me to rebook, forcing me to book different plane routes and different. This is how they've been manipulating, perpetuating their investigation. Listen, nobody gets investigated for 24 years. This is not an investigation. They're doing the same thing to all targeted individuals. They're targeting us for training, research, and development. We're involved in terminal experiments. They're torturing and murdering people for training, research, and development in artificial super intelligence technologies. In order to keep the victim boxed in like I am right now, they got me boxed in with special ops, former special ops, Panamanian soldiers. They're right here in this area, right around me. Okay? In order to keep the victim boxed in, they got to perpetuate this investigation. They can do whatever they want in Panama. They own the Panamanians. The Panamanians are their peasants. They do what they're told. But they can't do that in Nicaragua. They can do it, but they've got to justify the surveillance in Nicaragua. They can't just wander around recording all of my phone calls and all of my emails and monitoring all of my internet activity and stalking and harassing me in Nicaragua without first justifying it. They can do it, but they got to justify it first. I'm this terrible criminal, terrorist, drug lord, spy. They use this technology to manufacture evidence on victims. And then they take that manufactured evidence and they use mudslinging, lies, slander in the community, etc. to perpetuate this investigation. They just keep setting the victim up, left and right. They've come after me, they planted drugs. They planted drugs on me, on my property. Not on me, but on my property. In San Diego, California, planted drugs. I'm the one that had to call the police about it. It's unbelievable. They have done they're coming after me with honey trap after honey trap. It's unbelievable what they're doing. And so they're blocking and it's been going on for years, but this is just an example of what they're doing. Every time I try to book a ticket, it's transfer out, and I got to go through Miami, or the ticket is just so expensive I can't afford it. Thousands of dollars to get a flight into Nicaragua, and that's like weeks out. That's like many days out. I just looked on the internet. That's not normal. That's not, and this hasn't been just going on since Christmas. This has been going on for weeks. This is going on back in November. In Ecuador, I was trying to book a ticket out of Ecuador into Nicaragua. They're manipulating my plane routes to alter jurisdiction so they can perpetuate this bogus investigation they've got me under for 24 years. I am being brutally tortured. They are manipulating the medical treatment. In order to manipulate the medical treatment in Nicaragua, in Cuba, in countries which hate them and don't trust them, they got to justify that. They got to work that out in advance. They got to justify that. They were manipulating my medical treatment. I got ear examinations where they were taking equipment out of the audiology department, acoustic emission equipment, for example, so that I couldn't show the steady decline in my hearing. And you can look at my face and see the sleep deprivation. Look at my eyes. Just look at my eyes. That's sleep deprivation. I cannot book a ticket and this is not the first time this has happened. It's just an example of something going on for 10 years. The torture started in 2011, immediately after I filed a federal lawsuit against the FBI. In Louisville, Kentucky, the torture began. And it's been nonstop ever since. My hearing is so severely damaged, I can't even hear things without severe distortion. Severe distortion. When people talk to me, when I listen to audio or video, everything's severely distorted. And I can't get the medical evidence because they're manipulating my medical treatment. And they've been doing it for 10 years, since 2011. Almost 11 years. In order to do that in Nicaragua, which hates the Americans, which they filed sanctions against because of the election, etc., which doesn't trust the American government. They got to work that out in advance. They got to delay or block my ability to get there by plane. I'm here in. I'm not far from Nicaragua. I should be able to book a cheap ticket. It shouldn't be a fortune. It shouldn't be thousands of dollars. That should one ticket, just for example, was $1,400, and that didn't even include tax or luggage. That's not normal. I've flown all around the world many times and into Nicaragua many times, and I should be able to do. Let's say they were doing the same thing with Cuba. Same exact thing they were doing with Cuba. Now they've got my credit card, so I can't get to Cuba. Oh, it's his fault. He's the one that did it. He left the card. No, they took it, and they didn't return it when they returned my other belongings, and they wanted me to play the game. Provoke the victim into chaos and trauma. Physical and psychological trauma, to map out and reverse engineer the sensory and neural pathways of the victim's brain and central nervous system. That's why I'm boxed in. That's why all targeted individual mind control victims are boxed in. That's what's happening. The victim, if the victim can break out of the surveillance, the verification process breaks apart and mind control technologies fail. They got to verify the responses of the victim are consistent. They got to keep the victim under 24/7 surveillance until death. That's how this technology works. So this isn't just Christmas prices. This isn't just Christmas routes. Suddenly I tried to book a ticket into Nicaragua from Ecuador. They were trying to route me into Madrid, Spain. All the way across the Atlantic. And then into Miami. So they can maintain jurisdiction. They're able to do this with just specific algorithms. Various algorithms are able to manipulate things in real time.